first award is a testimonial resolution. If you would all give Mrs. Carmen Murphy from the House of Beauty Records a nice round of applause as she comes to the stage. Let me tell you a little bit about her while she's on the way up here. Mrs. Carmen Murphy originally recorded James Cleveland, Brown, I've got Melvin on the mic. James Cleveland and the Voices of Tabernacle in 1954. The songs that you hear Martha Jean play on her show was recorded by Mrs. Carmen Murphy at United Sound Recording Studio. Also, there are several people who have done their earliest works, some of their earliest works with Mrs. Carmen Murphy, including Berry Gordy Jr., Herman Griffin, the late Mr. Mike Hanks, our own Don Davis, and several other people. Mrs. Murphy has been one of the most overlooked figures of history, and had it not been for her, all of the music that you've heard from 1954 all the way up until whatever you heard on your way here would not have been done. So we have her here to honor her. And would you please give her a standing round of applause? Let's give her a standing ovation. Detroit City Council Testimonial Resolution. Carmen Carver Murphy. Whereas Mrs. Carmen Carver Murphy recently turned 80, the latest accomplishment in a life full of successes. Mrs. Carver has been a resident of Detroit since 1935, when she moved here as a newlywed with her husband, Dr. Scipio Murphy. And whereas Mrs. Carmen Carver Murphy founded the House of Beauty Salon and the Carmen Cosmetics, her business acumen flourished when she expanded into the music business. She worked with such musical greats as James Cleveland, Nat King Cole, Berry Gordy, and the late Herman Griffin. Her record label, the House of Beauty Records, included several other record labels, including, but not limited to, Spartan Records, Star Maker Records, A-Rock Records, and C-Rock Records. Motown Records founder Berry Gordy bought the word soul from Mrs. Murphy's Soul Records label and used it for his own, and she sold it to him for $1. Whereas Mrs. Murphy has been a member of Bethel AME Church since moving to Detroit in 1935, she has demonstrated her devotion to God and her community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Detroit City Council hereby salutes Mrs. Carmen Carver Murphy for an outstanding career in both business and community. We wish you a happy birthday. God bless you, and many more to come. Once again, Mrs. Carmen Carver Murphy.